Are we live? I think we're live.
I think we are.
What was your favorite part?
What?
Making out with your mom.
We forgot to. We seriously I let that ad run. I guess afterwards. We forgot to click go live up there. I guess I thought it was going to be automatic. So now I know.
Oh, that's why I went live. Okay. Yeah. We also forgot to do the intro song.
Yeah, that too. So.
Oh, there's an intro song that's better than that countdown?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really cool intro song.
Yeah.
You know what? Screw the intro song. We'll play the intro song next time.
No, there we go. Boom. Done.
You got it? Okay, I'll play it. I'll click on it. We'll be right back.
Oh, no! Oh, boy! Ah, here it comes! The motherfucking loud spot!
Sick.
All right.
Love it.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loud Spot. I'm your host, Sebastian Cosby, right out of Oklahoma City. And this is the very first time we are doing an actual podcast, a special podcast. And we got Peter from Riot Scene in Southern California, right?
Yeah, we're out of San Diego.
Right on. And then we got Sam McIntosh joining us tonight. What's up, Sam?
Hey-o!
So the first time we're doing the StreamYard, we're going to make a whole bunch of mistakes. And so we need people that are watching to let us know if when we play the music, if it sounds good, if it sounds like not good, and what's going on. Oh, my wife says it looks good. So we look good. Thanks, babe.
Thanks,
good.
At least the whole half of the screen, you know?
Thanks, Mom.
All right, Peter. So tell us about Riot Scene, man. What is Riot Scene all about?
Oh, man. It started up this project in spring of 2018. Really just wanted to try to stretch the muscle of throwing shows and getting people together and seeing what the music scene's about after not being in it for quite a few years. And the first show we did, we packed the walls of Legacy Brewing over in Oceanside and wanted to make sure we could keep it going. So I spent the better part of the rest of 2018 doing a lot of planning and trying to make sure that we could execute this correctly. I have a strong background in marketing, so at working in different action sports and music brands, it's helped me kind of form what we want to do here. And we did a big activation at the Off-Road Nights Expo at Del Mar Fairgrounds in spring of 2019, and really started getting following and snowballing after that, working with the best in punk, metal, hardcore, and emo, coming out of San Diego and touring through San Diego.
Dude, the San Diego punk and emo scene is legit. Like, that's all there is out there, and ska.
Like, you need some better ska shows. Bring back the Aquabats.
I know, right?
Hey, well, first of all, the Aquabats are still around, so shame on you.
Oh, come on. Bring them back to town.
Well, yeah, I can give you that contact. You negotiate the deal, though.
Oh, perfect.
So let me get this right. You pretty much find bands that you like and get concerts, put them all together for a concert. Is that accurate?
Yeah, and when I approach a venue, I'm usually looking for the date first, and I know what kind of show I want to do. once I get the specific date in mind. And coming from the angle we do, we're approaching it as a brand. So as our brand, we're taking over your bar, venue, whatnot for the night. And then we have the platform to put bands out there and make sure everyone has a great experience. So if that date is specific for a touring act or something like that, we want to make sure that we cull through the bands we work with and some that we want to work with to help fill that bill and make sure we have a good time.
Do you have your typical venues that like your typical places that you go to throw these? I know you're probably not doing any of that right now, but
no, right now it's real slow.
Yeah, to say the least. So, but when you're booking one, like, do you have a particular style you'll do per venue? Like, this is like mostly pop punk, this is mostly emo, or you just kind of mix them together?
A lot of it's feeling out what areas are going to have a better response for what kinds of shows. Like certain venues do great for punk shows, but really don't pull in a crowd when I bring metal bands there.
Right.
Some places do great for pop punk and emo revival nights and stuff like that. And if I put one metal band on the bill, then all of a sudden they're just out of place. It doesn't help.
Yeah, Raquel gave us the horn sign. Peter, are you allowed to see? Since we got to let everybody know that Peter is our guinea pig tonight, which I don't think he realized he was going to be the guinea pig for this episode. Did Sam warn you about that? Like,
No.
Well, first of all, when we set this whole thing up, we weren't using StreamYard, so
no.
We, as of Saturday night, when this was introduced, and then Sunday we put it into effect. This is where we're at. So someone was going to be the guinea pig. Unfortunately, you're it, Peter.
I don't know. I don't think it's unfortunate. I think it's fortunate that he gets to be the very first guinea pig on the Loud Spot. I think that's kind of a cool thing.
It is. I think so too.
And we're using the best of the best software available to us right now. This is great.
Yeah. And it just goes to show you that I am in St. Louis, Missouri right now. Sebastian's in Oklahoma City, and you're in San Diego. I'm mobile in a truck. You both are stationary at an office or a home base. So, this is, I mean, come on, bands. Why can't you do this too? I don't know.
Speaking of home or office, does Riot Scene actually have an office in San Diego, or do you just kind of do everything from your house?
No, we started out, I took over my kitchen, and as I started doing more things with, I've got my vinyl plotter back here for making different stickers and heat transfers and stuff. I've got a second workstation over here.
Nice.
Let's see, I've got heat press, hat heat press, some projects. We've got our little futon area with some show posters from shows past.
That's the casting couch.
Exactly. Yeah. If you see a picture of your girl from there, you know what's going on. But then we got some goodies in here. We like to be able to have different bands come through and hang out, pick out some merch. I've got our merch shelves and stuff in the back.
Are those skateboards back there?
Yeah. The Swollen Members one I got from in a past life. I worked with SRH Clothing for a long time, and the guys from Swollen Members gave me that deck for a project I did with their website when they released. Oh man, I forget the name of the release right now, but this was probably 8-9 years ago. And then the Murawski Send Help deck is signed. That was from a skate event we participated in with our main screen print partner last February. And then the Riot Scene deck is a tester one-off that we're going to possibly put out in the world here next year.
Dude, if I showed you what this looks like around me, like I have a Misfits poster and some other posters, but then I got like torn wallpaper and nothing. like you're set up like super cool, legit everywhere. I got that, and that's it. I got a ring light.
I've got to add to your poster collection too, because that's one of the things that we do.
Yeah, man.
Art out here. We do posters for almost every show. If it's our first time working with a couple of bands and we're not sure what kind of pull they're going to have, we'll set them up with flyers and things like that, but we won't necessarily go all in with a full color poster. and those things. But we want to make sure we give bands the tools they need to help everyone win with the show. In fact, I'm going to show you some of the posters because I want to send you some.
Cool. Hell yeah, man.
A long walk all the way over here.
Yeah.
So far away.
Yep. So guys, chime in, share it. If you're in here, Raquel, share it. If you're still in here, it says we got 2 people. So
All right. Mom?
So popular.
yeah. Anastasia and Raquel, I think, are the only 2 that are in here.
So just some of the kinds of posters we do. This is all art that a lot of it I do myself. Sometimes we're sourcing art from different illustrators.
I got that one.
Oh, that's neat.
And
That's
these
neat.
are 12x18, full color, standard poster quality, made to last. And this was a killer lineup we did back in summer of 2019. And some of the bands on here we still work with today. Black Cast we're still heavy with. They've actually played our first show that we did as Riot Scene Presents.
We're playing the music tonight too, right? We're playing one of the music videos.
Yeah, they just dropped this video a couple weeks ago. I'm really hyped for them. And go ahead.
Yeah, we just hope that it plays well. Because it's funny once we share the screen of the video, one, we're gonna hope that Facebook doesn't kick us off. 2, whoever the sharer is, it sounds great, but to the other person it didn't, and it's like, oh, it sounds like underwater a little bit, and we're like, well, let's see how it does on live, and maybe it's
we don't know.
different. We don't know. So
I did see a button in there on my side to share a file or a video.
Yeah. So
if I had an MP4 file, it could probably go direct.
Yes, it could.
Oh, do you have the actual MP4?
I can get it.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Like right now doing this is so fun to go live. I don't even care, man. Because it's like you just do whatever you want to. When you're doing a show, it's a little bit different. But when you're just going live and just doing reactions, it's so much more fun. Like I told you, it feels like we're on that show. Big. What's it called? Oh my God.
Get your thoughts.
The two brothers. The Step Brothers, where they're dancing around the bunk beds. There's so much more things, so much more activities we can do. That's what it reminds me.
So I'm gonna go put your testicles on your drum kit. Is that what's happening?
Sure, man. I don't have a drum set anymore, but you can try.
I'll put it on your poster in the back. That's what.
Can you concentrate and do 2 things at once, Peter?
Unfortunately, all too well.
Yeah. So
while you're doing that, go ahead, Sam.
Well, just to give you a little history, Peter and I met. He was doing shows. I'm a booking agent. He's a talent buyer. That's how we all met. We started just sending him. I send him. He's got first dibs on my show, and then of course there's other promoters in the area, and if she doesn't want it, then I'll go to the next guy and the next guy and the next guy. But not every band that I have will necessarily fit his thing. In other words, if I send him a really poppy band, he probably won't like it or take it because it's just not his thing. Not his thing. He's more the underground scene. He's more the hardcore scene. So those are you bands that realize that if you're thinking that, make sure you know your talent buyer. If this ain't for him, I can't send him jazz. He's probably not going to take jazz or country or anything like that. For the most part.
I have places I can send artists. I have places that ask me if I can bring in some family-friendly music to liven up this new pizza place that just opened up. And I'm like, man, they're not top of my list normally, but I've always got people I can connect with. So if you do have talent like that, if any bands you guys are listening and you have something that you're having a hard time finding a spot for, Sam's the man. I point the other way now. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude, I point that way.
Define the word talent buyer. Like, are you spending your own money, I guess, to get them on in hopes to receive money from the ticket sales?
Sometimes.
Some good ones do.
Yeah.
I consider myself one of the good ones in that sense. Like, one of the things Riot Scene as a brand stands by, and that's to support the artists, is death to pay to play. Like, pay to play is not how bands are supposed to be getting out there and feeling good about what they're doing. Like, they got enough shit to worry about of writing new shit and staying on top of everything. Pardon my language. I just dropped 2 in one sentence.
Yep. That's it.
But
we're done.
did a great show, guys.
Just kidding.
No, but death to pay to play. I want bands to feel good about what they're doing, and if I'm confident in what I'm doing and working to make sure that we've got heads in the venue, then it shouldn't be a problem. And as long as the guarantee is reasonable that's offered to the touring band, and I work with my local bands to make sure that it's fully transparent. I say, hey, say it's all local bands, no touring act, right? 4 bands. We're going to do a 5-way split. I'm getting the same cut each band gets. If there's drink tickets or anything like that, I give them to the band. But I also show up with pizza or food or something like that, because I also have a tagline that are a couple of taglines that I push heavy. Support your local starving artists. You know, starving artists die hungry. You'd rather die hungry before you compromise your artwork. You know.
Right here, guys. Right here.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Do a lot of bands come to you? I know not right now, but do bands usually come to you if they want to get on a venue? And do you turn some down? And is it hard to do that if you're not interested?
It's hard to turn certain bands down, but one thing I do like to hold in, I guess, a standard with everything is whatever music it is that gets put over my plate, I'm gonna add them to a list basically and keep them in my pocket if the opportunity comes up for them.
Do you do a lot of research, like get on their social medias and make sure they have a pretty good following before you, like if they're a good band, but they don't have a lot going on, will you still play them, or do you really like to see that they have fans interacting with their posts?
There's added value to all of it. To be honest, I see the most value in people being honest about it. Like, I've got bands that are brand new that'll say, hey, we are brand new. Can you listen to our music and see how we fit on one of your shows? Sure. Love to see what you guys got, especially if I'm friends with one of the band members or something like that. There's a connection already made. I've worked with them in the past. I'm down to check them out because it's all about the energy for me. If you have crazy off the wall energy and no following, you could probably do a great job at towards the end of my show versus opening it up. And same can go with a very calm band, you know, either way.
Yeah, so to give a heads up, like an interaction between Peter and I will send him a band. I have, for the most part, have a budget in mind as far as how much so that I can keep them out on the road, or how much I think they're worth in that market. Now, if they're not worth anything, I will be honest with him. I'm probably one of the last honest booking agents. I know it almost seems counterintuitive, but I let Peter know. Too honest, but I'll let them know, hey, I'd like to get $100 because they got to travel from here to, you know, say, I don't know, San Francisco or back over to Phoenix. That's a 6-hour drive or 8-hour drive. So I'll let him know, hey, here's what I like to try to get for these guys. You know, what can you do? What can you offer? And of course, he'll say, hey, yeah, they're you know, I don't know if they'll do very well, but I'll be more than happy. We can do a door split, or, hey, I can do your $100 or I can do your $50 or whatever that is. And when I'm putting a band in a scene for the first time, I don't want to hurt the promoter. I don't want to hurt the talent buyer. I want him to make money, so he wants my bands back. I just need the shot of them having the opportunity to open in that town, and we, the band management, we do our job to promote it. Now, one of the biggest things I kind of brought a little bit to the table, and it was thanks to the Anchor, is selling tickets online through the artist's website, and then showing up with that money going, hey, we sold this amount in tickets. Here's the printout. Do you want to take it, you know, at the end of the night, or do you want it now? Whichever. And guess what? Fans love to go to their band's website to buy the tickets. And then, of course, he's selling tickets on his end. Local bands are selling hard tickets, everyone's selling tickets, so there's a lot of moving parts. But the touring band that's coming through, if you're not selling tickets to your own shows, regardless if they're in your state you're from, you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I think you got to do that, and you got to do it for the talent buyer, and that's the best way you can build a great relationship with your talent buyers.
And that makes total sense too. I really like how that whole dynamic works, because if the band has a following, there's no better way to tell that is how their ticket sales are direct in that area.
Yep. And then on top of that too, I can easily go, hey, Pete, obviously the tour manager or whoever's in charge that night will say, we sold 15 tickets. Now we know we have a solid 15. Let's see what happens the next time we come through. Does it grow, or does it stay 15? Or does it drop down? If it drops down, then management, we can actually take a look and say something's going on here. Either we're growing or we're not growing, one of the two, or we're stagnant, one of those two things. But our pre-sale tickets should always keep growing. As a band, it should constantly keep growing. Now, granted, if you oversaturate, come to town too many times, like twice a month, that might probably hurt your sales and you'll see a decline. I recommend every 6 months. So bands, if you're listening, every 6 months come to the market. Just keep hitting that circuit.
I've learned so much. Look, I'm not in a band at all. I've never been on tour. I play the drums. I wasn't band a long time ago, but I've learned so much about the music industry just from Sam. Before Sam actually joined the podcast and became my executive producer, he was on we had a thing called 4 Bands That Slam with Sam, because it rhymed. And he would sit there and talk about things. And I remember one time I even paused the podcast. I was like, dude, while the song was playing, I was like, what question do I have next? Because I didn't know what to ask. Booking agent. I just didn't know. But Sam's like, oh, ask about weather, ask about this. And so, but then talking to him, I've learned so much about the industry. I feel like I know so much. So when Sam says something, or even when Peter's saying something, these guys are in the industry. They're not I don't know if you're in a band or not, but you're on the other side of the industry that gets the bands, the shows, and the promotions and things like that. So I think that's pretty freaking cool, man. One last thing, I can't see the like on a Spreaker, I can see how long we're podcasting for on this. Oh yeah, I can. It says it right there. Never mind. Never mind. It says 23 minutes.
Squirrel. There you go. What?
Hey, did you get those MP4s?
I've got one that still says converting. It doesn't look like it's downloaded.
Let's go ahead and at least play the unsung, Sebastian.
Is that what I have? That's what I have loaded right now, right?
So I asked Peter if there's at least 1 or 2 bands that he'd like to give a shout out to. We always like to play music. We want artists to get. Now, granted, all 3 of our watchers right now at this moment. But eventually when it gets converted and it goes to a podcast audio file and it gets shared on YouTube and all those kind of things, we hope that people will be able to see these guys and go to their page. Tonight, because we don't have the MP4, which when artists will come on, they'll be able to upload their video right straight, and it works great. It works perfect. But tonight we're using the link and we're sharing the screen. So we got one keyed up already. The band's called The Unsung. And the crazy thing about The Unsung is I know that rooftop because of Steal the Scenery, one of the old bands I used to manage. It's the same rooftop.
That's why you showed me that video.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I have no idea why.
God damn!
I was like, cool, man. Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah. So if you go watch Steal the Scenery, should have been a construction worker. They had this thing about Fall Out Boy kind of titling of names where they're really freaking long. But that's the video. Scott Grayson says, "Show me the money."
Oh yeah. Hey Scott, I want you to stay on there. We're gonna play this video, and when we play it, let us know if it sounds like it's underwater or if it sounds good.
And let us know if we get kicked off. Here we go.
Text me if we get kicked off. Shoot me a text message.
All right, press play and put it full screen.
All right. Okay, here we go. Oh, hold on. Hold on.
You
I
got
gotta rewind it. Okay. All right. Okay, it's pretty much full screen. All right, here we go. Play.
Oh, the audio is coming in clean. Gotta wait for the video to buffer.
Once again, I've been falling apart. I'm asleep with no reason to move. Stuck in a walking cage with no sign of return, with emptiness that'll never be filled. I don't need this, I can't breathe it. My own thoughts bearing down upon me. Without me breathless, stop meaningless. Praying for someone who could save me. Suddenly wide awake, I'm going higher, higher. I'm breaking from a life beneath, I'm going higher, higher. Walking and stealing the road with the tears of your eyes, the crease of your smile, the pout in your lips can bring life to the dead in the dark. Suddenly I'm wide awake, I'm going higher, higher. I'm breaking from the life beneath, I'm going higher, higher. I felt you changing me. The fight on for all said, bring me higher, higher. Sitting in the corner of the background, watching as you walk on by. Silhouette at best, still I remain here, just to steal the clouds away from you. I can't believe this, what's the reason? Make me feel so alive. But I must say, you amaze me. You wake me up and I can't even speak.
Kevin owning that solo.
You bring me to new heights. You bring me so never coming. Suddenly I'm wide awake, I'm going higher, higher. I'm breaking from the life beneath, I'm going higher, higher. I felt you changing me. I'm flying like bullets, saying bring me higher, higher.
You better stop it.
Hey, me. There it is.
I clicked. Hey, Sebastian, you still have your freaking microphone muted, crazy man.
Yeah. No, I was making sure play white next. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, it's not. Okay, cool. And so we got some feedback. So Scott said the sound quality is on point, but and I saw the video being stuttery on. Oh my God! Hold on. Stop.
Yeah, remove it.
How do I pause this?
Remove it.
Okay, let me. I did. It was playing on my. It was just playing on my stereo.
Well, the thing is, I ended up removing it, but then you ended up clicking it again, and so we were kind of. So we got to figure that out as we go along. So
Okay, so Scott said it was glitchy, but the quality was on point, and it was stuttery. And I saw it kind of stuttery on my end. I bet you, though, if Peter's able to get the MP4 for Black Cast, I bet if he loads it up, I bet it's perfect because it's the actual MP4 and not streaming from. Because I'm already streaming, so I'm streaming on here and then streaming on YouTube. Which my computer sucks. We know that I have a horrible processor. So.
Yeah.
Which we talked about.
Yeah. He was tonight. He was going, I got to delete a lot of stuff. And I said, that has nothing to do with the computer. It's the processor. And that's what happens. So
you gotta clear your history too. You don't want anyone to go in there.
Well,
yeah.
He
I don't have any bad history. No, I don't. No, this computer's straight for podcasting, man.
Yeah.
And other work, I guess. I have nothing to do.
I'm pretty sure there's other stuff you're probably looking at.
Yeah, my Printify page, if I made any money selling any merch.
Scott said the music gave him a sound boner.
Oh, nice. Good for
That's
you.
a great song, too. That is a great song.
So good job, The Unsung. And if you're in here, hopefully you are. We can't really tag you, I don't think.
No, but I do want to ask Peter about the Unsung to get a little bit of history from them, how well you know them, and just things you know about the band that people might be interested in hearing.
Well, they're a great band. I got to say they're one of my favorite locals. They're definitely on the up and coming list in my eyes with some of the shows they've been doing and some of the crowds they've been bringing out. More so, a lot of their shows are from Orange County. So they've got a lot of experience on the stage at Chain Reaction and getting people hanging from the chain link over there. And in one of the last shows we did, I know we did two almost back to back. It was December of 2019 and then January 2020. And this one, Sam, you were in on this one too.
Yeah.
So we had Diamond Noise, Red Handed Denial, and is Samsara on Diamond Noise also?
No, they're not. They're from Yuma, but long story short, I'm not even going to go into in case Billy's watching or their manager.
But we had Red Handed Denial and Samsara on the road, and I was able to get out brick by brick in San Diego and build up really great response for the show. We had a good amount of pre-sales sold. We had a lot of people showing interest online. And the day before, or maybe 2 days before, if I remember correctly, Red Hot Chili Peppers announced a one-day extension to their stay in San Diego, which overlapped that show and caused a very intimate, awesome show.
Cool.
Yeah. No, it was a really good time, but those are some of the woes and swings and misses you got to deal with.
Do you only deal with bands in the Southern California area, or what if they're like another band from like the East Coast, but they're coming to California? Will you hook them up, I guess, with a venue?
Absolutely. In fact, Red Handed Denial, the headliner on this bill, that's featuring Lauren Babick. They're singing. They're all out of Canada. Is that Ontario, if I'm right?
Okay.
Nope. Toronto.
Okay. No, and I still talk to their drummer Tyson every once in a while on Facebook. He's actually linked up with some of the bands from that show even and stayed in contact through COVID. So
yeah, and the story behind that real quick is Lauren, they needed help real quick to lock in a couple of shows. They're on tour with a big Japanese world band, and they were only playing like one show or 3 shows, and it was like Seattle, Portland, and then San Francisco. And Phoenix or something like that. And they're like, hey, can you help us out? Sure, no problem. We were supposed to do a tour with the Anchor and them. Never happened. So yeah, I said, yeah, let's. I can reach out and use my connects and help you out there. I didn't make anything from it, no percentage. And then Samsara, because they're from Yuma, I was like, hey, you guys want to hop on? I need to give Peter like 2 bands at least so he can, because one of the biggest things is people will send one band. Now Peter's got to find like 3 or 4 local bands that probably just played that month on top of that to try to draw in the crowd. And I didn't know, but they wanted they said, hey, if you can swing this amount of money, that would be great. And I'm like, okay, that's wonderful. Just make sure that you bring in the crowd. And then, of course, the Red Hot Chili Peppers incident. Now, Peter said, hey, I broke even that night, so he was happy. So.
Yeah, no, I actually paid Samsara a little bit extra that night, too,
Yeah.
just to say how much I appreciate what they did, because they actually have a solid following in San Diego, too.
Yeah,
for a humor band, it's real impressive.
Yeah, and that's thanks to the New Challenger approaches, which I think they're just called New Challenger now, and Johnny and all them used to be there. So yeah, it was one of those things, and that's how, you know, that's one of those things that when you reach out to a talent buyer or something like that, you got to keep all these things in mind. You don't go throwing, hey, we want $1,000 at them, because they'll tell you, not for me. Bye-bye. And unless that talent can pull that much. So
yeah, dude, both of you, I guess. I'm sure it probably happens. And do you ever get bands that they're like, check me out, bro? Like you're lucky that I'm even approaching you right now, and then you're like, no. Or do you ever just say no just because their attitude? It's like, nah, bro. You were done.
Numerous times, yes.
Yeah. If you come in hot, we're gonna be hot. That's just the way it is. If you come in with an attitude, that's going to turn us off right from the get-go. And I love the band that's from a certain area, you know, whatever big metropolitan city, and they're playing a new area for the first time ever, but they want that $600, $700, $800 guarantee because they can pull like 300, 400 heads in
city.
Yeah, and they're out on tour, and they're like, hey, we usually get this amount. Where? Here? Because you just told me this is your first time playing here. So tell us where this equals out. And Peter, he usually has to, if he doesn't have a special deal with the event spot or the venue that is taking place, he's got to rent out the stage or pay the sound guy, at least pay the sound guy. Probably the stage might be free because they're making alcohol sales or something like that. But he's got a lot of risk on top of him just to break even that night. So, you know.
Peter, what do you wind up paying out of pocket?
Sometimes nothing. Sometimes I make $50 or $100. Sometimes I walk with $1,000 and everybody's happy.
Well, who all are you paying?
Well, I've got a door guy is sometimes supplied, sometimes not. Sound guy, I want to say the same, and when it's not, I have a specific guy I go to. Shout out Adam Cisco, you're the man.
Yep,
right on.
Cisco. What's a studio, real quick? At a Cisco Studios, isn't it?
Cisco Recordings is.
Cisco's recording. There we go.
Yeah, he's got a studio based in Santee area. Made some really great stuff out of there. Did a lot for Infinite Signal and some other San Diego locals.
Buttons. Buttons. Hutton Bard. Buttons. His list is pretty tight. So.
Oh, he did stuff with Takers Levers not too long ago. Also, really great work.
There's so many bands in San Diego, man. There's just so many good punk rock. Yes, there is. I think there is. Sam, yes, there is.
He said, all right. He's saying there's a lot. Your exact comment is there are so many bands in San Diego. No, there is not so many bands in San Diego. There
are so many of them.
It's a fuck. See, I'm cussing already.
Let it out.
Yeah. So
Sam hates it. Sam hates it because he knows so much more about the industry, and I'm like, nope, I'm right. And he's always like, no, you're not, dude. You are wrong.
Look, yes, I agree. There's a good number of San Diego bands, but whether or not they're active, whether or not they're participating and actually gigging and actually doing things, and then it's their own hometown. So most of them don't want to gig in their hometown because they just gigged at least a month ago, 3 months ago. So a lot of people forget about that. No band wants to play in their hometown constantly, and unless they're trying to build their fan base in their hometown. They want to play out of town. and build
Right.
a fan base out of town. So this is what Peter's got to deal with every stinking time a touring band comes to town that may or may not have a following.
And you'll see some of the same bands pop up on some of my shows, not only because they're badass, but because they're available.
Yeah.
If I know they're reliable and I trust them and I know that they're going to put in the legwork they need to make everything win for everybody, then they're going to end up on my bill again. And the more bands I start working with and trusting, the more we get killer events and fat crowds and everyone going home saying, damn, I didn't get a poster from last night. I need to call somebody and find that, or I got to look for pictures tomorrow online when they post this and that. Like, you'd asked who I pay for the shows, and at almost every show there's a photographer that I have out there. Sometimes she has a helper. Shout out Samantha Madnick. She's part of the Riot Scene crew. There's printing for flyers and posters, as well as bringing out food for the night for everybody.
So a lot goes into that. So why did you decide to start? Because you said you were out of the music industry for a long time. Why did you decide to jump back in the music industry? And because your background's in marketing, you just decided to take the business you were in and do it to something you love?
Well, when I was younger, in high school, I was throwing shows at venues like The Scene, Ground Zero. There's some nostalgia names for the old San Diego heads out there. But I was young, ended up going broke, did college, ended up having one, now two daughters, and worked corporate life for a while. After working with action sports brands and having my own small agency for a while, I went into bigger SaaS model software companies and suited up every day, and did that for about 5 years, suiting up every day. And when it started to get old, I started going to a couple of local shows and seeing some friends I hadn't seen in a long time. And man, it just relit everything. All of a sudden, the spark was ignited. I'm like, man, I got to do this again. And it took me a while to figure out how I wanted to come out there. And it really started with me wanting to throw a birthday show for myself. And I'm like, man, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to put whatever the name of my project is, presents. And I'm not going out there labeling myself a promoter or labeling myself as a talent buyer per se. I'm going out there calling Riot Scene a brand. We are a brand. Just how Vans has the secret session concerts with great music experience and skate event at the same time. Just how Monster Energy puts out a big concert and ties to an off-road event. You could look at other brands that tie in with motorcycle events. Everyone has something that tries to connect music to all these things, right? I just want to be the music brand. And we used to have brands like Atticus out there that were waving that flag.
Yeah.
And with Riot Scene, we're putting on the shows, but the shows as a business model are not part of our revenue stream. So if there is a miss there, it's not the end of the world, as long as we still have enough wins to keep it going back and forth. But for the brand itself, as we're growing, we're releasing more merchandise. We're putting out a lot of things to support bands. We actually have a whole spotlight series of T-shirts that are band shirts with a Riot Scene hit on the back, real small, focusing on the band. And yeah, we want to make sure those opportunities for bands to get their name out there and work with us. If we can put a band's shirt on a rack right next to another Riot Scene shirt at your local Tilly's or whatnot, that's a win for us. So
yeah, dude, I'm excited to get my box of goodies in the mail tomorrow, man. I'm super excited about that. I love stuff like that.
I told Sam today, I said, man, did you check your mailbox today? He's like, I'm in St. Louis. I said, son of a bitch.
Dude, were you able to get the MP4 for Black Cast, or did it not go through?
I was.
Good,
Let me see if this one works. All right, so Black Cast, song's called False Hearted. They just released this a couple weeks ago. All right, let's see.
And this is a test run for our guest. This is awesome.
Let us know about the audio and video quality, please. So you're going to share Share screen. There we go.
Oh, I think it's queued up here.
Yep.
Yep.
add it to-
I'm gonna mute myself.
Up. Yeah.
Okay, see, that's the thing. The MP4 is what we need. And Raquel said the audio and video are perfect. Everyone's saying it was great. So now we know the MP4 is where we need to go. You know what'd be super cool is if whenever you get some new bands, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Okay. Whenever you get some new bands that you want to share, we can always pop you in for like a little 20-minute, 15-minute little, hey, check out this music video. This is cool. We can go live with it and just share it on the Facebook page, man. I think that'd be super awesome.
Dude, all about it. And I think a lot of bands would be looking for it to get responses to their videos like that. Like, that'd be killer.
Absolutely. I want to ask you one last thing. I think we're going to end it here pretty soon, but what are you able to do for bands right now? Because since you're not being able to have put them on these shows at these venues, what are you doing for them to sustain a living?
Well, for bands that are actively working right now, I've been doing a lot of graphic and web design, digital marketing. On the merch side, I have a couple of partners that I've built a fulfillment program for. So if any bands out there are looking to handle their merch without handling their merch, you can always reach out to us and we can connect you with the right tools to sell things online without having to ship it out yourself or anything like that. And offers up a good way to get your own merch at cost, and it's quality, not that direct to garment print stuff.
Yeah. His stuff is like his shirts. I think you're using Bella Canvas or the Next Level. Is that correct?
Next Level for a lot of them.
Yeah.
But I know our new hoodies we did mostly in American Apparels.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, those things are cool. Love those things.
Yeah, because this is the Bella Canvas, so it's a real thin one. It's a great San Diego maybe hoodie, but out here on the road, no. I'm a American Apparel guy. I mean, I like the quality. Now this one, ours. Yeah, well, we're figuring it out as we go along because it's that Gillidan crap.
Gilligan, yeah. I like it. I wear it like every day. I wear it every day. Not wearing it right now.
One thing I feel really good about is the quality of our hats. So this one's actually pretty old. Yeah, my dog actually got this one. It's still living, but these aren't foamies or anything like that. These are the good canvas ones. So we get to make some good stuff with those.
Just put a Sharpie right at the top, just a black Sharpie. That'll cover it.
You know, shit, I've got one.
Yeah,
I did it again. See that?
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, I know. You're going to hell, Peter. You're going to hell.
Hey, what's your website?
Riotscene.net.
Okay, and on there, go ahead.
We've got new merch dropping all the time with Riotscene.net. We've been slow on our blog since COVID hit, so a lot of things moving slow on the website, of course. But we have a new site that's going to be launching here by Q2, and we're just excited and anxious for events to start coming back. We did one event back in November of last year that was outdoor, safety advised, whatnot, encouraging everyone to wear masks. And we brought a stage out to a pit bike race and freestyle motocross event. And it was just shy of 1,000 people out there in the middle of a private property. And it was a full-on expo style event. It was excellent. And it just shows how hungry people are to do this again. Now, granted, we got some backlash from the people who weren't there and were apprehensive about it, of course. And to each their own. We hope everyone's staying safe through all this stuff. But, man, we're hungry to get back out there, and bands are hungry to get back out there. We're all just waiting at the gates for them to open up again.
Yeah, you know, and it's scary out there. We were talking to another band, and you know, they're like, we don't know when it's coming back. And being the first ones, or being one of the newer ones to kind of get bands out there, and you're going to get backlash no matter what you do. Even if you're taking all the safety precautions you can, people are still going to, you know, blast on you for doing it. But I think more and more people are going to start slowly creeping their foot out into the water, is what I'm hoping anyways. Because now that I started this podcast, I want to go to live venues. I just want to, you know. And so I'll be out there in San Diego checking out one of your venues soon.
Sam's just shaking his head.
All right. What do you have to offer a live venue? Who's coming to see you? We've talked about this. No one wants to see us.
No, I'm not. I'm saying I just want to go to a live venue, to go to a concert.
Yeah,
no one wants to see me. They can see me on video. So did I make it sound like I want people to see me?
Yeah, like it was gonna be your show that night, which we actually talked about doing a live on the road show. I was like, not at this level right now. No one's coming to this thing. They can barely come to see a band sometimes. So, but it's always funny. He wants to do all this traveling, but yet he has the office job. I want to go home, and I got the travel job. Why is it we want what we can't have? What is it about that?
It's the human way.
It is.
Are we about to watch the Chris Brown Lil Dicky music video? Are you guys about to trade places?
He's got to go get a CDL. So, you know, wait, here we go. You go get a CDL. And what are you doing? Stop switching
There
up.
you go.
There we go. I like the left side of the bed. Knock it off.
All right, I think we're going to end the podcast. I think we're going to end the podcast, but Peter, don't go anywhere. I do want to thank everyone who tuned in tonight and watched this live feed. I think it was fun. We were learning a lot. Thank you, Peter, for being our guinea pig. Go check out RiotScene.net if you want to check out what he's doing. And you can also go to www.theloudspot.net. Check us out on YouTube. We got merchandise. We got all kinds of things, and we're growing. This is the first time we're doing the podcast live on Facebook, so it's new to us. We got new graphics, and this is just a part of us growing. So Sam, credit goes to Sam for doing all of this too, man.
Real
Awesome.
quick, Sharon says cool graphics. She says quality merch. So I'm pretty sure that's in reference to your stuff. And guys, after this live ends, it's obviously going to be available on our social medias, our YouTube channel and our Facebook channel. Go ahead, and if you watch it, please add your comment to it and tell us fill it out. Tell us that you like it, you don't like it, sucks, you guys are horrible, but Peter's cool, or whatever you guys want to offer. Also, too, big shout out to the Unsung and Black Cats. Thank you for allowing us to put your music up here. Thank you, Peter, for bringing those two. I know we didn't reach out to you prior to this, but I'm sure you love the shout out and hit us up. We'll hook something up later on to get you guys on the podcast as well. Maybe not right now, because we got a lot of stuff to figure out since we just added something new to the game of us. So, and to the bands that are listening, that are not those two bands, other bands, again, feel free to email me, Sam at theloudspot.net, if you want to get on the show. However, though, I would wait for about a month because we are really busy, and like you said, we just added this new
feature
software that's been available for a while, but we're just figuring it out. So, thank again, Peter, for being a friend and also coming on to let. And if there's other talent buyers, promoters, brands that deal with music, we want to talk to you. It's not just about bands. We want to get everyone in this industry. We had Lou on. We got some managers coming in real soon. Dean from DNS Agency. I'm trying to. We got Tuck and maybe Jeff from Feature X or X Feature, whatever. I forget what it's called off the top of my. I always flip them up. But Tuck is also from the band Fit for a King. So we got a lot of different people coming in. We want to educate you bands as best as possible. But also understand, if you've never dealt with a talent buyer or or event organizer, someone that puts in a lot of the risk, this is one of the reasons why I wanted him on, so he can kind of explain. Even though he's a brand and he's an awesome brand, I want to make sure that people understand when he takes on a show, there's a lot of risk on him and what he's got to go through. So when you're asking for $300-$400, but you can't pull 10 people through the front door at $10 a head, you understand that you're asking for too much. Sharon says, beefed up the show tonight. Yeah, we sure did. We pulled the trigger because eventually we'd have to pull the trigger on this, and we were like, forget it, let's do it now. So
we didn't want to embarrass ourselves in front of Peter.
Yeah, that's what it was. So, all right, thanks, Peter. All right, guys,
thanks so much.
Any last words?
Bring back live music.
All right,
now.
That's right.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
All right,
guys. I'm going to end the broadcast and see what happens. I don't know if we're going to be on here or not, but we'll find out right now. And broadcast.